Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday. It's just another day here at Commonwealth. I've had a few connection issues with Facebook Live here, so hopefully this will work. I tried on my laptop a few times and it wasn't responding. I think maybe because I'm running a few updates, so I decided to switch over to my iPad mini, which doesn't have the same video quality, I would say, in comparison to my computer, but just wanted to say hi because it's been at least a few days since I've chimed in with a Facebook Live. So as I've mentioned here a few times, I said I'm at Fullerton School District, and it's quite nice right now. I don't know if you can hear whatever's going on in the background, but I have an Apple TV running the NHL highlights on the screen. Let me see if I can actually do this. Oops, let me move my coffee. But yeah, that's hockey in the background. That's what I get to watch or listen to while I'm working on some books. Even though I'm now officially running into my 4th week here at Fullerton, it's been quite nice. And I figured I would just talk to people while I'm working here, because what I'm basically doing is have a bunch of books here, and this is my stamp, and I have to stamp all the books. So what I'm trying to do right now is plan out the new schedule for the teachers to come in with their students so that they can go check out books. Now, I'm obviously pretty much at the speed of the administration, which I have a very interesting, principal here. Everybody who has talked to me about being here has basically said that this particular principal is extremely micromanaging and wants to get her hands into everything, which, I'm pretty used to that. I had to deal with it before. The only difference is that this particular principal isn't an asshole, so it's actually kind of helpful. But she does want to get involved in everything and just know what's going on, which, I completely respect that, and I'm okay with that. The only problem is because she's inundated, just like any other principal would be. I've had to take a few steps in terms of getting something going with getting some sort of a schedule, but it's kind of working to my advantage right now, because I have at least 100 more books that I have to do several processes in. Now, one of the interesting parts about my job here is that I'm also the librarian at this elementary school. I'm not just the tech, I run the damn library. And with that being said, there's a few things that I'm learning on the job right now, which I'm finding very funny, because in many ways, what I'm learning how to do is very much it's really work in progress, and being a librarian is a whole other job altogether, so I'm basically learning another job altogether. It's okay. Also, because as the story goes, is that I'm like the 3rd or 4th person to have come through here in the last 2 months, because there have been substitute librarians and things like that. Yeah, so with that being said, it's been a very different experience in that case. So yeah, it's been good, but there's still a lot of work involved, and so some of the things that I'm just going to mention, and there's a few books that I'm not, I know this video is backwards, but there's a few books that I'm not stamping with our Commonwealth seal here, because they have glossy paper and they'll just smear. So I'm not even bothering. But for a lot of the other books that are a little bit more, hard case, I have that going on. Now, I think there's a student that's about to walk in right now, and I have no idea why, so let's find out. Hey, can I help you? She can come in any time, actually. Library is open today if she'd like to come in. What grade are you in? 6th? Okay, great. Yeah, just come on down. All right, thank you. All right, so it appears that I'm going to have a class coming in here shortly, which I'm okay with. I'll deal with it. I'm just kind of finding it funny because now I have to create things like no touching zones. Basically, look at all the books that you can't check out right now. Yeah, it gets lovely. But yeah, it's actually been fun. I have to say, though, there's a few other things that are going on outside of my work that are kind of bumming me out. And I'm not mentioning too many things on Facebook. except on live, because people who like to watch, I'll tell you what's going on. But one of my rats is not doing very well right now. I've had a couple rats that have had some ailments, but Ace, my one of my rats, the one that he has like black splotches on his face and completely white body. He's different from Patch, but he's Patch's biological brother. Anyway, he's not doing very well right now. He's had a very fast-growing tumor coming out of his left underarm, and it's been growing over the past month. And right now, I think it's getting the best of him. I'm trying to get him to the vet on Saturday, but as much as I don't like to say this, there's probably a high chance I may have to put him down. So he's not doing too hot, and I feel very sad about that. And because of my full-time work, and being all the way out in Fullerton, I can only see him, in the morning, and then when I come back home, which sometimes could be late because of homework and other things I'm doing. And I feel awful about it because, there's really nothing you can do about a tumor on a rat. Patch, who had a skin ailment, he had a little bit of an issue. And I'm just going to keep talking here. If I have to end this conversation because of students coming in, I'll let you guys know. But unfortunately, this is something that I can't really treat with medicine. It's going to involve surgery, and surgery on a rat that small, it's something that really is high risk and may not result in him, surviving the operation. So I may have to do the most dignified thing and put him down so that he's no longer suffering, because he's not looking too good. And it's making me very sad because he's the first rat that I've had since 1998 who had a tumor. One of my first rats, Marble, she had a mammary tumor. She was a female, and she passed away due to tumor. And it's one of the ailments that can take out a rat, especially when you have pet rats that have been you don't know their breeding lineage, and they inherit a lot of issues. It's just the way it is. And I get asked about that. It's like, rats really have a short lifespan, but why do you keep them around? And it's like, because I love them. Hey, welcome back. What's up? Did you say 45? 25? 25's, that's fine. Was there anything special that you guys needed, or are you just going to come in and read? Okay. Well, I have a lot of new books, so I'll be introducing a lot of. I'll be talking to you guys when you come in. Okay. Hey, who's your teacher again? Who? Oh, okay. All right. I'll see you later. So anyway, so same kid came back in, and I'll be entertaining their class at about 9:25. So I have about 30 minutes before they come in, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. Library time with the kids. These are 6th graders, so I might be able to do something with them. Don't know yet. First, I need to finish stamping these books so that I can put them into circulation. This library is really a work in progress. There's just a lot of things here that I've had to work on, develop, etc. And it's fun, But as I was going back to the rat thing, yeah, it's very depressing to have to think about it. And I was flipping through my Instagram yesterday, and I was flipping through my Instagram yesterday, and looking at the pictures of Ace, and just realizing that every rat that I've had that I've been able to take pictures of have been just absolutely hilarious in their own way. And Ace is no different, and he will be missed. All I can do is try to find ways to make him comfortable. It's very hard for him to move now. I've had to make sure that food is on the bottom floor of the cage so that he can just crawl to that and not have to go up 3 flights of stairs. And I'll have a water bottle close to where he is, but he's been spending a lot of time hiding in his igloo and not being out so much. So it's it's been a bummer to watch. It's to the point where in the morning when usually the rats are awake, I would have a bunch of treats, and the rats know that when I open the cage in the morning that they're going to get a treat, and all of them come out except Ace, and because he's too weak to come out. And you know, it's even come to the point where when I lay a treat in front of his face, he doesn't even want to try to reach for it. So that's when I know that it's not looking too good. When even a yogurt drop isn't going to wake him up, and it's very sad. So yeah, that's what's going on outside of things. In addition to that, you know, I was also working on my airsoft setup. You know, if you were watching my last very quick Facebook Live, and I'm gonna get some more books here. More books. But you know, if you were watching my last Facebook Live when I was with my friend Karen at Airsoft Con on Saturday, you know, I was picking up some new supplies and airsoft gear for my collection here, and so on Sunday I'll be going out and you know, shooting that new gear for the first time, and that's going to be quite fun. I'm hoping that I'll be able to do an event, an airsoft event for my birthday. But one of the hardest things, and I think it's just because of the current state of affairs in our current events, is that, you know, I find it a bit awkward to have to be able to talk about, you know, things that involve guns, be it real or toy. And so if anyone out there is listening and interested in doing airsoft with me on my birthday, November 12th, that's a Sunday, out here, possibly in Bellflower, you know, I'm totally, it's open invite. So I'm gonna put out the schedule or the event announcement pretty soon, because it's like we're closing in on 3 weeks here, and hoping that we're going to work out. Now, originally I was thinking I'm going to go and go to Catalina or something for my birthday, because, you know, the Catalina Express has that really cool thing where you know, it's 2-for-1 special. If you get one ticket on your birthday, the second one's free. But because of my current job and the fact that I cannot take any vacation time for the next 5 months, you know, due to probationary, I've decided to stay local and not go out of town, because I was actually hoping, as I had it reserved when I was at my last position, to not be in school on Monday the 13th, so that I could have the extra day to myself. That's not going to happen, but I don't feel so bad anyway, because, you know, this place is making it difficult for me to want to take vacations, because when I want to take vacations, that's because I earned a hard-earned break, not because I need to escape the world. There's a difference. So that's been very nice. So yeah, school is school. Still working on that. More books. You know, school is school. I mean, it is what it is, and that's okay. But at least nowadays, when I'm talking about life, I'm not talking about what is going wrong with it. It's more like, oh, here, it's another day in the life. I hope to be able to do some more Facebook Lives that are, you know, more interesting. I don't have to take my breaks or anything like that, which is nice. I don't have to worry about, you know, bitching during my breaks or anything like that. And it's quite peaceful in that sense, and I'm good with that. So yeah. Also, in addition, you know, I'm just thinking about birthday plans, because November 12th is not that far away. I'm also thinking of some Korean barbecue. So if anyone out there is listening, I'm actually looking for a good Korean barbecue place that's, you know, reasonable and all you can eat, and isn't called Gen. Because, I mean, there's a Gen in Torrance, and they're pretty good, but they're a little overpriced, and it gets a little busy there. But if there's other places.
If you do have packets, fundraiser packets in your classroom, please collect them and send them over to the office at Christmas time. We ask that you don't send the students always their packets to the office individually, because there's money in there. So if you can just please collect them all and bring them over to the office by reception.
Yeah, so they do a lot of fundraising here and stuff like that, which is fine. More books. By the way, the work that I'm doing right now while I'm Facebook Living is actually carryover from last week. So a lot of the books that I've been, there's Captain Underpants. A lot of the books, it involves a 3-stage process for me to get these books into circulation. So just to explain a little bit of what I do. First one is I have to get the the books into the librarian system. So I have to scan them and make sure that they are barcoded correctly, or at least they are assigned a correct barcode. Then I have to go print the barcodes. After I print the barcodes, I have to attach the barcodes to each book manually. And then once I'm finished with that, I have to stamp. Now, also in addition to that, I have to put in stickers that show the grade levels, which these two don't have. I'm going to have to deal with that in a bit. But as you can see, a couple of them do have the grade level books. We don't do Lexile levels here at Commonwealth. We do grade level books. So, which is nice because it's kind of like everyone has a pro and a con. I mean, at my old site, Lexile levels were a big deal. And the thing is that numbers are arbitrary. And the reading level has been around longer than the Lexile level. At least in my time growing up. I have some 6th graders who can read at an 8th grade level. I have some third graders that are just starting to read. I mean, you don't know what you have. But really, to tell somebody I have a 425 or something like that, it's like, that sounds like a police code. I mean, I was like, if say I need to find books in this library that have a 3 or a 4 on them, that's a little bit easier than saying I have a 500, Lexile level or whatever. Just my opinion. So, it is what it is. So the NHL highlights are still playing. Gonna have some 6th graders in here shortly. More books. Now I'm here till 4. I'm here till 4, so I figure I'm gonna have time to do some more work with these books later and things like that. So that's okay. So what's going on in your world? This is probably one of the quietest Facebook Lives I've done in a while in terms of what's going on in my world. And but yeah, so just to recap again, Ace isn't doing well. I'm thinking about doing some airsoft on my birthday, plus Korean barbecues, so look out on Facebook for that. And here we go, And I work in a library. Now, technically, I work in 2 libraries, but the other library, all the books are still in sea containers, so I'm like, I'm not rushing the process. Once you pull those books out of the container, then we'll start talking. But I already have one library that I got to deal with, let alone 2. Yeah, I keep looking out at the window to see if I see the line of 6th graders coming into my library here. So, because if that's the case, then I have to wrap this up. Yeah, that's what I do. Stamp the books, barcode the books, do the thing, that kind of thing. By the way, too, is if you are in El Segundo on Friday, I got a game at 9:15 p.m. And also, if you are in the area and you are a CAMS alumni, Taste of CAMS is happening from, I think it's like 6 to 10, 6 to 9 p.m. or something like that, at Cal State Dominguez Hills on the CAMS campus. So if you're an alumni, regardless of the year, come by, support the clubs. There was supposed to be an event specifically for the class of 2002, and it didn't happen. And I had signed up and paid for an event, and I'm getting my money refunded because they canceled it. Of course, I'm actually thinking, though, that the PTSO president or whoever was arranging this was kind of exaggerating the numbers, because she wrote back to all the people she was canceling on and said that, only like 9 people responded to and reserved for the event. I don't think that's a true number, but regardless of the point, you know, they're going to be there. They're going to be selling a lot of like, you know, cam swag and stuff like that, which I'm also amused by because I saw the preview of the sweatshirt they're selling, and it's absolutely hideous. I'm looking at it going, you know, there's a website that CAMS is attached to that you can make custom sweatshirts, and that's what I did. And so I have a custom 2002 alumni sweatshirt that I'm going to be wearing to the event, and I'm probably going to be asked multiple questions of how I got the sweatshirt. And it's a website that needs to be publicized a lot more. And if you're interested in getting that information, I can definitely give that to you. It is sanctioned CAMS gear. So I mean, yeah, sure, it's really nice that PTSO is trying to you know, market, you know, CAMS stuff and sweatshirts and things like that, which is stuff that we didn't have, that we had to make as a class. And I really, one of the things that I regret was not being able to acquire those particular clothing items like the baseball jersey and the hoodie. But I was able to make up for lost time thanks to this website that one of my other peers from the class of 2003 had made note of and told me that existed. So anyway, with that being said, I'm going to wrap this up here. I'm finished stamping the books that need to go, that are going to be released here into the wild for students to check out. And you know, if you have any questions or comments, you know where to put them. It's been a while, I know, and I'm hoping to catch up with people. So you know, keep it real, keep it posted. I have a lot more time to answer things and see what's going on. So you know, I will talk to you all later. Be good today. Don't blow anything up without permission.